The subject is computer architecture and organization. This is the unit number 4, input output organization, lecture number 3. Myself Maneesh Singhal, assistant professor, Department of Computer Science and Information Technology, Arya College of Engineering and Information Technology. The content, mode of data transfer, programmed input output, interrupt, initiate input output. Mode of data transfer. Transfer of data is required between CPU and peripherals or memory, or sometimes between any two devices or units of your computer system. To transfer a data from one unit to another, one should be sure that both units have proper connection, and at the time of data transfer the receiving unit is not busy. This data transfer with the computer is internal operation. Mode of data transfer. All the internal operations in a digital system are synchronized by means of clock pulse supplied by a common clock pulse generator. The data transfer can be synchronous or asynchronous. Mode of data transfer. When both the transmitting and receiving unit use same clock pulse, then such a data transfer is called synchronous process. On the other hand, if there is not concept of clock pulse and the sender operates at different moment that the receiver, then such a data transfer is called asynchronous data transfer. Mode of data transfer. The data transfer can be handled by various modes. Some of the modes use CPU as an intermediate path, and other transfer the data directly to and from the memory unit, and this can be handled by three following ways. First, programmed input output. Second, interrupt initiate input output. Third, direct memory access, DMA. DMA we discuss next lecture number 4. Programmed input output mode. In this mode of data transfer, the operation are the results in input output instruction, which is a part of computer programs. Each data transfer is initiated by an instruction in the program. Normally the transfer is from a CPU register to peripheral device or vice versa. Peripheral device means input output device. Once the data is initiated, the CPU starts monitoring the interface to see when next transfer can be made. The instruction of the program keep close tabs on everything that task takes place in the interface unit and the input output device. In this technique, CPU is responsible for executing data from the memory for output and storing data in memory for executing of programmed input output as shown in flowchart. This is flowchart of programmed input output. First, CPU issue the read or write command to input output module. Second, input output module inform about its status to CPU. Check the status ready. CPU reads word from input output module and write it to memory. CPU reads word from memory and write it to input output module. Is transfer complete? Then yes or no. So it repeat the initial stage. Drawback of the programmed input output. The main drawback of the program initiate input output was that the CPU has to monitor the units all the times when the program is executing. Thus the CPU stay in a program loop until the input output unit indicates that it is ready for data transfer. This is a time consuming process and the CPU time is wasted a lot in keeping an eye to the executing of program. To remove this problem, an interrupt facility and special command are used. Interrupt initiate input output. In this method, an interrupt facility and interrupt command is used to inform the device about the start and end of transfer. In the meantime, the CPU executes other program. When the interface determines that the device is ready for data transfer, it generates an interrupt request and sends it to the computer. When the CPU receives such an signal, it temporarily stops the execution of the program and branches to a service program to process the input-output transfer, and after completing it return back to task that task what it was originally performing. The execution process of interrupt initiate input output is represented in the flow chart. This is the flowchart of interrupt initiate input output. Initial stage, the CPU issues the read or write command to input output module. Second, the input output module informs about its status to CPU. Check status is ready. CPU reads word from input output module and write it to the memory, or CPU reads word from memory, write it to the input output module. This is check is transfer complete, yes, execute next instruction, and no, then it go to the initial stage. Brief summary. Program input output mode of data transfer. The operation are the result in input output instruction, which is a part of computer program. In the interrupt initiate input output method, an interrupt facility and interrupt command is used to inform the device about the start and end of transfer.